Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
Welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. But for a radio audience here in Mississippi at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all could be with us. Also, tuning in to our friends at iHeartRadio and Amazon Music Podcast. We're glad you all could be with us as well. This is part of our News You Can Use segment here at WYAD, and today we're talking about something a lot of us are already experiencing, and that is cold and flu season. Many health experts are predicting that the 2022 cold and flu season could be the most severe in years. Joining us now to talk about this and what you all should know, we're excited to welcome back Dr. Ian Smith to our program. You guys know him, of course, as a medical contributor as well as a best-selling author. Dr. Ian, glad to have you back on with us.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad to join you.
So this is always, I think, an important topic, especially with everything else that's going on, but it's still also, especially here in Mississippi, Dr. Ian, still seeing our COVID numbers going back up. What should we expect from the upcoming cold and flu season?
Well, it's going to be very interesting, actually. Unfortunately, the experts are predicting that it may not be very good for us because Australia, which is who we look to see how their season their season runs from April to September. Their flu season is ahead of us. We look to see what their season was like, and they've had the worst season in the last 5 years, which unfortunately is not a great indicator for us. Doesn't mean necessarily it's going to happen to us, but it's a decent indicator. One of the issues, Cyrus, is that for the last 2.5 years, most people have been masked, wearing masks, and they've been deeply sanitizing, washing their hands, doing all kinds of preventive measures that for years before COVID we said that people should do to prevent the spread of cold and flu. And so, now that people are not masking as much, people are not as cautious about surfaces and touching hands and those kind of things. Now that all those kind of precautions have come down some, it's likely that we are going to experience more cold and flu illnesses.
Yeah, and like I said, we're already seeing that here, coupled, of course, still dealing with the pandemic as well. Dr. Ian, so do you have any recommendations for our audience then to help people kind of navigate what could be a difficult cold and flu season?
Yeah, I think that people should, if you're going to be in a crowded area, whether it's a bus, a train, a plane, if you're going to be in a room where there are a lot of people, you don't know who they are and what their illness status may be, go ahead and put a mask on to help prevent inhaling some of those virus particles that may be out there. The other thing is, of course, please continue to wash your hands frequently. Be careful of shared surfaces, doorknobs, computers, computer mice, those kinds of things. Be careful and make sure you're wiping things down between uses. Also, people can look for over-the-counter remedies. They're very important. There are 2 ingredients, Cyrus, you want to look for when you're looking for things to help you with the cold and flu. And people should understand something. The cold and flu are caused by viruses, not bacteria, which means that you don't treat it with antibiotics. Antibiotics are for bacteria. But with viruses, you can actually reduce the symptoms as far as how severe they are, and you can also reduce how long the symptoms last by some of the over-the-counter medications. Look for 2 ingredients. Guaifenesin is one of them. That's important because that will help thin your mucus, which allows you to bring it up better. And dextromethorphan is another, which helps suppress that nasty cough. These are 2 important ingredients. The Mucinex extended release tablets that last up to 12 hours are very good at relieving these symptoms that are related to cold and flu, particularly chest congestion and cough.
Really good tips. And last time you were on with us, Dr. Ian, you were talking about the benefits of those over-the-counter products. Are you finding that is something that is helping people, Dr. Ian, the fact that they don't have to wait to go see a doctor, that there are these options like that available for them to be able to use during this time?
100%. Over-the-counter medications for the cold and flu have shown to be extremely helpful to people. Once again, doesn't prevent it from you getting infected, but it can reduce how long you are going to be symptomatic and give you some of that relief. As we both know, both illnesses can be extremely frustrating and weakening and tiring and disabling. And so these over-the-counter medications, particularly with those 2 ingredients, can be very helpful in your fight this year in cold and flu season.
All right, always bringing us news we can use. Again, everyone, Dr. Ian Smith has been our guest, getting you guys ready to handle this year's cold and flu season, which could be a pretty difficult one for many people. Dr. Ian, where can our audience go for more information?
Well, you can go to mucinex.com to learn more, or you can visit your local Walmart or your local pharmacist and get more information. And by the way, always talk to your pharmacist. They're there to give you answers and to help you for free. You don't have to buy medication to ask questions. Make ample use of that resource also.
All right, Dr. Ian, thank you so much for the great work you're doing and the time today, and looking forward to speaking with you again.
You too. Nice talking to you.
And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live, again, part of our News You Can Use segment here at WYAD. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.